Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 1956 classic monster film, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, starring Raymond Burr. Of course, this is the movie that came out just before Raymond Burr started being the star of Perry Mason. He starred in this movie. And of course, was the first Godzilla film. And it was, of course, made in Japan with a Japanese cast and production crew and the whole spiel. But then they wanted to release the movie to the United States because at that point, in 1956, monster movies and the B monster genre was big in the United States, and so Japan wanted to get in on it, and actually they wanted the American audience to see this film, but since it's so, A, an old Japanese cast, and B, all the spoken dialogue was in Japanese, so not only did they dub, they did, compared to the other Godzilla films that would come after this, when you have bad dubbing, with the English translation over the actual spoken Japanese dialogue. And I mean, the dubbing got worse in the Japanese films, or I should say the Godzilla films after this. But this one, they did a better job of dubbing the English dialogue over the Japanese spoken Japanese language in this film compared to the other ones. But they also wanted to have an American actor in this film, so the American audiences could relate to that character being in Japan and seeing Godzilla attack Japan. And so that's why they hired Raymond Burr, fresh off of fresh off the movie Rear Window, and the Alfred Hitchcock movie. He just recently did that film, so just prior to being cast in Godzilla, so he got cast in this film just to have an American face, an American actor in this film. Now Raymond Burr plays a reporter who is on his way to Cairo, Egypt, to do a story there. Well, he heard this other story about this mythical, superstitious monster, because Japanese culture has myths and superstitions and stuff. So he heard that the so-called mythological creature was attacking Japan. Or I should say an island just off of the coast of Japan. So Raymond Burr goes to investigate it, and it happens to be actually, of course, Godzilla, and the Japanese media and the Japanese government was already calling this creature Godzilla. It was like between God and it had to do with a lizard and a giant lizard or something. They did kind of explain it, but they didn't do such a great job of explaining it. But that's what they did, and Raymond Burr was there to investigate, the story and see if it was something up and up, and of course it was. And of course the rest of the movie is with mostly the Japanese military and the Japanese government trying to stop Godzilla. And of course, by the end of this movie, Godzilla does destroy Tokyo. Raymond Burr almost dies. His character almost dies. And of course, eventually the monster goes back into the water of the Sea of Japan. And that's pretty much how the movie ended. Of course, this story, the whole string. I think it's about over 20 films. Mostly through the rest of the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and into the 80s, even into the 90s. You have one of the longest running film series. I think it's almost as long amount of movies that you have with James Bond films. I mean, in terms of amount of James Bond movies, that you have about, I think, like 25 films now. Godzilla is about just as many, if not more, than the James Bond movies, and it's been around a lot longer than James Bond movies. James Bond movies been around for 60 years, since 1962. Godzilla's been around since, I think, since 1954, even though this movie got released in 1956. Raymond Burr did come back as the character in this film and in Godzilla King of the Monsters, almost 30 years later, in Godzilla 1985, when he came back and played that same character he did 30 years earlier. But it was kind of like a nice tribute because like 30th anniversary of the first Godzilla film. So they brought Raymond Burr back and he reprised that role. Same thing he did with Perry Mason. Well, at the same time, he reprised his character of Perry Mason and did a string of TV movies for NBC. So everything comes around again, at least for Raymond Burr anyway. But this film is, I should say, very downcast, because originally, if those of you who ever seen the original Japanese version without Raymond Burr in it, the reason why Godzilla King, was created, he was like in a coma for millions of years, and he was resurrected. The reason why he was resurrected was because of the United States dropping two atom bombs on Japan during the end of World War II. That resurrected Godzilla, and that was the story in the original Godzilla film before it was re-edited and Raymond Burr was inserted into the film. That's what the original version was, Japanese version was, before they reworked the film for American audiences, because they took all that stuff out, blaming the United States for resurrecting Godzilla. Because of their action of dropping the bomb on the United States, that's what caused Godzilla to come up from the dead, pretty much. But despite that, the first Godzilla film was really good. Despite the bad dubbing, and like I said earlier, it gets the English dubbing over the Japanese dialogue will get worse as the film series has gone on, and that's one of the things that that gets made fun of when people are talking about the Godzilla movies. That's what gets made fun of. Is all the bad dubbing that goes on in the Godzilla films. But if you want to see, really the movies like Rodan and Godzilla was Mega Godzilla, that was some of the more popular, better ones. But the first movie, naturally, anybody who was interested in Godzilla movies gotta see the Godzilla King of the Monsters first. True, they remade the film back in 2019. It was remade. I have not seen it, so I can properly do a comment, because I grew up one of the ones that came out during the 60s and 70s, because I was born in 1971. So I grew up with those badly dubbed Godzilla films that used to air on Saturday or Sunday mornings here in the New York City market. They show the same movies again and again, and with the bad dubbing. And very rarely did they show the one with Raymond Burr in it originally. They showed the one from Godzilla 1985 a lot when that one came out on television. That one was shown a lot, but not the original one, which is what I'm talking about here. But like I said, and I was stretching this thing out more. For the original 1955 film, and I know I'm saying 55 or 56, because the American version I think came out in 1956. So technically it came out, I think it was like in 54 or 55 originally in Japan, and it was redubbed in 1956. And a year later, Raymond Burr starts playing Perry Mason on TV. But Godzilla King of the Monsters is definitely one of the better movies in the whole series. The other films got sillier as they got on, especially with that son Godzilla and Godzilla's son spoke, and really like he has kind of he's mentally retarded. The son Godzilla, he was speaking like this, like that. The son Godzilla. If you ever seen the son Godzilla movies, that's how he spoke. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to make fun of people who have mental disorders and stuff like that. It's just that those movies were bad. I mean, it was bad. I mean, they were entertaining, but it was in a bad way, not in a good way. So that's my review of the film Godzilla King of the Monsters. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. It's on WDY.C.com. That's the homepage of the Rally Reviewer, Chris Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks you for watching, and catch you next time.